Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Front Please YouTube channel. Today is Friday, October 17th. Remember, I'm not going to be available Friday. I'm making this video on Thursday. It's going to have both Friday and Saturday games. It's going to break down two of the big games on Saturday, and then I'm going to give you my full card for the Friday and Saturday night games, Saturday day games as well. Right now, Thursday night, it is, I believe it's 24-14. No. Yeah, 24-14, Tulsa, East Carolina. We've already gone 1-0 on the player prop. Caden Hauser has had two 60-plus yard touchdowns. We only needed 42.5, so we already have two. 9:33 left in the game, or 9:33 left in the second quarter, in the first half, I should say. 24-14. Tulsa looked like a dead dog. They were horrible offensively the first two drives. ECU went up 10-0, and then it's been touchdown Tulsa, touchdown ECU, touchdown Tulsa, touchdown ECU. We need to see the ECU defense maybe get a stop, and they're going to break this. They took the kickoff to the 45. Tulsa's lively. The quarterback, besides not being able to hold the ball because his small hands, he's doing a pretty good job against East Carolina, who has one of the best defenses in the conference. I think the best defense in the conference. For the football game, we have Jamar Chase over catches. I believe he has 2 in the first quarter. It is 7-0 Pittsburgh. First drive for Pittsburgh went right down the field and scored. Aaron Rodgers to Jonnu Smith touchdown, and then DK Metcalf had the 40-something yard, I think it was 39-yard catch on third. It would have been a 3-and-out, but DK Metcalf had a 39-yard catch from Rodgers to keep the drive alive. So 7-0. Joe Flacco's had a couple really good plays, and his receivers, Chase Brown, has let him down. So that's where we're at. 1 on the player props. Everything else is not ready yet. For the games tomorrow, we have a lot of top 25 matches tomorrow. I think 6 in total, but we're going to talk about 2 of them. I've talked about Alabama for the last 4 weeks. Ty Simpson, as you all know, my favorite player in college football right now. I've said it since the second week after the beatdown that they put on another team, that Ty Simpson was going to be an elite talent. I think he can be the best NFL quarterback out of this entire group, out of this entire class. He has shown over the last 3 or 4 weeks that he is, in my opinion, the Heisman winner. Carson Beck currently up there right now because Miami has not lost a game, but he is way better than Carson Beck in my mind. He is better than Joey Aguilar, which is going to be the other quarterback in this game. We should see a good game, though, between the two, Joey Aguilar and Ty Simpson. I want to take them in a parlay, both of them to score 2+ touchdowns through the air, 2+ passing touchdowns, but I didn't put that on the sheet there. But for this game, Tennessee, the win last week over Arkansas, if you just look at the score and didn't watch the game, you would think, wow, Arkansas was alive in that game. Really, they weren't. 34-17, Volunteers were up. They took the foot off the pedal, and Arkansas came back, scored some garbage time touchdowns. For Alabama, they're coming off a good win against Missouri. That also was a game that the score didn't really dictate what happened. Missouri had the first drive go for a touchdown, but after that, Alabama basically dominated. It felt like Alabama should have won that game by double-digit points. Tennessee and Alabama have played a common opponent. It's Georgia. Georgia beat Tennessee by 3, and Alabama beat Georgia by 3. So these teams are all very close together, I should say. And in my opinion, Georgia's not a very good team this year. I think Bama's the best team. I don't want to – yeah, I think Bama's the best team in the SEC. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and confirm that. Alabama, in my opinion, the best team in the SEC. Miami, ACC, Ohio State. Yeah, Alabama, best team in the SEC. I think Tennessee will be able to hang, though. Plus 8.5. Tennessee's been able to upset Alabama, I think it was 2 years ago on that field goal to win the game for Tennessee. But this should be a high-scoring game. The problem I see with Alabama in this one, why they probably won't cover, is the rushing defense. The rushing defense this season for Alabama has not been very good. But before I do that, Tennessee numbers this year, 48.2 points per game. If you're scoring 48.2 points per game and you're getting 8.5 points, I'm going to take you every single time. 317+ passing yards through the air, and they're 22nd in rushing this season with 210+ yards on the ground this year. For the Crimson Tide, offensive numbers are good. Defensive numbers have been okay this season, especially in the secondary. Problem is the rushing defense, 126.5 rushing yards given up per game. That's 102nd in the country. Bishop is going to play in this game. I have the article right here. Yes, Davis, the tight end, Ethan Davis, is questionable. Running back Deshaun Bishop is probable with the injury, but probable means he's going to play, especially going up against Alabama. All right, Tennessee plus 8.5 will be the play there. For the other play, LSU against Vanderbilt. I have a lot of things to say about LSU, and I'm going to start with they have a gauntlet coming up. They have, I believe it's 5 top 25 matchups in a row for LSU. They really haven't played a whole lot of talented teams to start the season. LSU only one decent win, you can say, against Clemson. And I don't even know if we can call it decent because Clemson clearly is not Clemson what we thought they were going to be in the start of the season. So that game, maybe it wasn't even a good win. LSU has been messing around for the first 6 weeks of the college football season. Garrett Nussmeier has not been able to get a flow with the offense. They're not being able to put up 45, 50 points per game. They just played South Carolina 20-10. South Carolina is not a good team. They're supposed to be good coming in. Lenore Sellers is supposed to be good. I think he is a good quarterback, but they just had way too much hype. South Carolina, in my opinion, not a very good team. Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt is very battle tested. They've played Alabama. They were neck and neck with Alabama. Alabama found a way to cover the spread late with a garbage time touchdown, winning that game by 10. But Vanderbilt, top 25 team, they're going to be at home in this game. I'm taking Vanderbilt -2.5, and I'm going to call it right now. LSU could be a fraud team. They really haven't played anybody. The only team you can say they've played is Clemson. I'm not very impressed with Garrett Nussmeier. Had Heisman hopes coming in. I just don't see it from LSU. The defense is not playing very well right now either. So the defense in the week one was like, oh, wow, look at this LSU defense. We made all the turnarounds from last season. Well, maybe it turns out Clemson was just a bad team. So I'm not sold on LSU. I am sold on Vanderbilt. They're a very tough team. They're going to ground and pound in this game. Expect Vanderbilt 200-plus yards on the ground. They are going to annihilate LSU on the ground in this game. Give me them -2.5. If you want to take an extra prop, Diego Pavia over the rushing yards, he is walking CTE. That guy loves contact. He reminds me a lot of Cam Scatteroo in that way. Let's go to all the plays for tomorrow, and then we'll talk about the player props. Actually, let's do the player props first. Player props for tomorrow, or for Saturday. These are only player props for Saturday, then we'll talk about the Friday and Saturday games. Georgia Tech going up against Duke. Jamal Haynes over 55.5 rushing yards. Jamal Haynes this season has not been great. He had a really good year last year. He's had 1,100-plus yards in back-to-back years, total scrimmage yards, 63.3 yards per game so far this year. Duke has given up 90 yards or less on the ground in the last 2 games, but Georgia Tech is a very run-heavy team. I think Georgia Tech's going to go for another game where I think Georgia Tech can dominate on the ground. 238 yards rushing per game this season for Georgia Tech. That's 12th in the nation. So give me Jamal Haynes over the 55.5 going up against Duke. That should be a very big game for both of those teams. Could mean the season for Georgia Tech. Could get Duke maybe back in the conversation for top 25. Another player prop, Trinidad. We're going to take him over the 244.5 passing yards going up against Georgia. I had the Georgia numbers up here for Joey Aguilar, but I just deleted it. I want to say it was 344 and 4 touchdowns for Joey Aguilar going up against the Georgia defense. This Georgia defense is not like Georgia defense in the past. This Georgia team is not like Georgia teams in the past. If you watched the Auburn game, Auburn shit the bed. They had 10 points offensively. The defense was buzzing. Georgia had found a way to score a few points in the second half, and then Auburn just died offensively. I think Trinidad can have a big day here for Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss can win this game outright. I know Ole Miss didn't look good last week, but they were looking ahead to this game against Georgia. The only way Georgia can win is if they cheat, which we saw last week going up against Auburn. Give me the over 244.5 passing yards. Should be a pretty good one there. Last play of the day, Tennessee and Alabama. Deshaun Bishop, I already talked about it a little bit. His player prop is not out yet on any of the books because he has an injury tag coming into this game. I just read you the article. He is probable, if he plays, he is going to dominate probably on the ground going up against Alabama, whose one weakness you can say this season has been the rushing defense. Besides that Florida State game, it was all weakness. But the rushing defense has stayed consistently not great over the last several games, which is why I don't understand how Ahmad Hardy didn't get going for Missouri. I know they were down. Let's talk about Missouri in a second. I have a Missouri game on here, right? Yeah, I do. I just don't understand. Okay, here we go. Louisville going up against Miami. Louisville's my team. I like Miller Moss. I'm going to take them +14. They are playing for their season. If they lose that game, the season's over. They have very, very, very slim hopes of making the playoffs. They have hopes to make the ACC conference championship game, but they have to win this game or at least lose by possession. So +14, I'll take them there. Nebraska, Minnesota. Minnesota is going to win this game outright because that's just what Nebraska does. Nebraska should have lost last week to Maryland. We took Maryland +6.5, and they should have won that game outright at home. Minnesota's going to be at home. It's a Friday night game. It's weird. Nebraska's going to probably lose this game. I'll take the +7 points. Georgia Tech against Duke. Already touched on a little bit. I'm going to be with Georgia Tech in that game +1.5. Feels like I don't. It does feel like a trap for them going up against Duke because obviously they're on the road and they're the underdog. But I just don't. I just don't think they're worse than Duke. I think Duke's the worst team in that one. I'll trust my Haynes and Haynes in that game. Jamal Haynes on the ground there for Georgia Tech. Then we're going to go with ECU going up against Miami, Ohio. Miami, Ohio minus 13. Took care of business last week for us going up against Akron in the MAC Conference. Miami, Ohio is my pick to win the MAC Conference. So I'm going to keep rolling with them minus 13. Vanderbilt, we already talked about minus 2.5. Oklahoma, we're going to take them minus 5.5. John Mateer didn't look good last week. He came back a little bit too early. Hopefully the hand heals up a little bit more, and he can dominate South Carolina offensively. I think the defense is going to come out kind of pissed. In that Texas game, the special teams had a touchdown. Arch Manning was given short fields a couple times by John Mateer. The Oklahoma defense is still really good. I think South Carolina is going to struggle in that game. I'll take Oklahoma minus 5.5. USC plus 9.5 going up against Notre Dame. Disrespectful line here to USC. I thought they were going to get destroyed against Michigan, and turns out the California kids are tougher than they look and tougher than they sound because they played like the more physical team. They dominated Michigan up and down the field, stopped the run, ran all over them, and USC, they look good. I'll take the plus 9.5. Notre Dame's been playing schools of nobodies after the first 2 weeks, so give me the plus 9.5. Thank you. A&M minus 7.5. Arkansas, not a good program, not a good team. They might be able to score some points, but the A&M defense has been really good this year as well. So give me A&M there. That feels like a game they can score 40 and give up 10. So minus 7.5. Ohio State minus 25.5. Iowa just beat Wisconsin 37-0. Think about what Ohio State could do to Wisconsin. Love that. Ohio State minus 25.5. Wisconsin, back-to-back weeks where they may not score a point. Ole Miss going up against Georgia. We already talked about that a little bit. I think Ole Miss can win that game outright, plus 7.5. Don't think Georgia's a very good team this year. Again, that's just my opinion. I feel like I'm throwing a lot of teams under the bus tonight. Don't really care. Tennessee plus 8.5. I think that's a close game, one-possession game. Tennessee covers the number. I'll take Auburn plus 1.5. I don't like either of these teams. The Auburn offense is bad. The Missouri defense has been kind of eaten up against the Alabama in the last game. Auburn offensively, if you can give me 17 points, I think the defense can shut down Missouri. They can stop the run, which is the big thing for Missouri. Hardy didn't get going against Alabama. I don't know. Bo didn't look great either for Missouri going up against Alabama. He missed a wide open guy that could possibly have tied the game to put it into overtime in that last drive. I'm not sold on Missouri, and it's not because I'm a Kansas Jayhawks fan. Utah going up against BYU, the Holy War. I'll take the points. Rivalry matchup. Utah's been hit or miss this season. The defense has been good. Dampier's been okay. I'll take BYU with the points. Night game, top 25 matchup. Points, please. Already talked about the props. Guys, going to do it for the NCAA football picks and props for Friday and Saturday night. If you guys enjoyed the content, please drop a like on this video, and thanks for watching.